welcome back to my channel, Colleen C to Serendipity. I'd like to bring you this day in history, August 11th, 2022. A group of federal prisoners classified as most dangerous arrive at Alcatraz Island, a 22-acre rocky outcrop situated 1.5 miles offshore in the San Francisco Bay on August 11, 1934. The convicts, the first civilian prisoners to be housed in the new high-security penitentiary, joined a few dozen military prisoners left over from the island's days as a military prison. Alcatraz was an uninhabited seabird haven when it was explored by Spanish Lieutenant Juan Manuel de Ayala in 1775. He named it, I'm not even going to pronounce it, or Island of Pelicans. Fortified by the Spanish, Alcatraz was sold to United States in 1849. In 1854, it had the distinction of housing the first lighthouse on the coast of California. Beginning in 1859, a U.S. Army detachment was garrisoned there, and from 1886, Alcatraz was used to house military criminals. In addition, to the recalcitrant U.S. soldiers, prisoners included rebellious Indian scouts, American soldiers fighting in the Philippines who had deserted to the Filipino case, and Chinese civilians who resisted the U.S. Army during the Boxer Rebellion. In 1907, Alcatraz was designated the Pacific branch of the United States military prison. In 1934, Alcatraz was fortified into high-security federal penitentiary designed to hold the most dangerous prisoners in the U.S. penal system, especially those with a penchant for escape attempts. The first shipment of civilian prisoners arrived on August 11, 1934. Later that month, more shiploads arrived, featuring among more convicts infamous mobster Al Capone. In September, George Machine Gun Kelly, another luminary of organized crime, landed on Alcatraz. In the 1940s, a famous Alcatraz prisoner, Richard Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, a convicted murderer, Stroud wrote an important study on the birds while being held in solitary confinement at Leavenworth Prison in Kansas, regarding it as extremely dangerous because of his 1916 murder of a guard at Leavenworth. He was transferred to Alcatraz in 1942. Stroud was not allowed to continue his advanced research at Alcatraz. Although some 36 attempts, no prisoners was known to have successfully escaped the rock. However, the bodies of several escapees believed drowned in the treacherous waters of San Francisco Bay were never found. The story of the 1962 escape of the three of these men, Frank Morris and his brother John, and Clarence Algalin, inspired a 1979 film, Escape from Alcatraz. Another prisoner, John Glees, caught a boat ride to the shore in 1949 dressed as an army In an army uniform he had stolen piece by piece, but he was questioned by a suspicious officer after disembarking and sent back to Alcatraz. Only one man, John Paul Scott, was recorded to have reached the mainland by swimming, but he came ashore exhausted and hypothermic at the foot of the Golden Gate Bridge. Police found him lying unconscious and in a state of shock. In 1963, U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy ordered Alcatraz closed, citing a high expense of its maintenance. In its 29-year run, Alcatraz housed more than 1,500 convicts. In March 1964, a group of Sioux Indians briefly occupied the island, citing an 1868 treaty with the Sioux allowing Indians to claim any unoccupied government land. In November 1969, a group of nearly 1,000 Native American students and activists began a more prolonged occupation of the island, remaining there until they were forced off by federal marshals in June 1971. In 1972, Alcatraz was opened to the public as part of a newly created Golden Gate National Recreation Area, which is maintained by the National Park Service. More than 1 million tourists visit Alcatraz Island and the former prison annually. Thank you for watching This Day in History, and if you would, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and think about subscribing if you haven't already. And I want you to remember to smile, because I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. Bye. I'll see you in my next video.